basketball a billion times. It's just like, man, it is scary. It's scary to take that road because, at any point in the journey, it's like, this is my life, like I play a bad game or I get a bad injury and it could be it. That's literally how fragile this thing is. And there's many times my rookie year, I was in the D League and stuff, and I said, I was basically like, look, I'll probably try to finish out this year, and this might be it for me. And my mom was telling me, because my mom saw really how hard it was. Like, she would see me when I would just break down. I'd be like in the D League, like hotel hallway, just like breaking down, like, dude, I can't do this, because I just felt like there was so much pressure. It's like, man, if you don't do well tomorrow, like, all right, look, you're gonna play 30 minutes, and if you don't play well in those 30 minutes, like, you could be traded, you could be cut, well, not traded, you could be cut, because they weren't looking to trade minimum players. But it was that fragile for me at one point, and I was like, I don't know if I can handle the stress of, like, feeling like every shot that I take is gonna, like, feed me for the whatever. And so I was just like really struggling with it, and then I ended up getting cut. So I got cut, I went to Houston, and they had 6 point guards when I got there, and you can only really keep 2 to 3. And so it was the writing was on the wall for me. They had 3 under contract already, which means like they're guaranteed. So I was like, all right, there's no room for me, I don't know, I'm here. So I remember I packed my locker, I put it all in a bag, I didn't tell anybody. I put everything in my locker, and I just walked out. And as I was walking out, I called my agent, I said, look, I'm done here. You can go ahead and tell him to just go ahead and cut me. I'm good, I'm not coming back. And I had everything packed, and we had a night practice. This is after the morning practice. And he called me later, and he's like, look, man, like, I understand how you feel, but like, you gotta walk back in there, and you gotta go practice tonight, and you gotta stick with it. And this is just one of many examples, but to me that was most vivid because I physically packed everything and was like, I'm done, I'm leaving. So it was kind of awkward when I walked back in with all my stuff. Like, oh, you? Like, hey, yeah, what's that big bag of all your stuff? Oh, so, yeah, don't worry about it, just let me in. So I think for me, it was, there were a lot of moments, even growing up, where like, I really questioned it because people really attacked my family as well. They're kind of like, man, you're wasting all this money letting your kids play basketball, and like, in Chinese it's like, "Oh, 你不能靠篮球吃饭." It's like, you can't rely on basketball to feed you. Like, this is what everyone always told me growing up. And so they'd always try to discourage me, and then I told people, like, I was like, I'm gonna play college basketball, and they're like, oh, Jeremy, you're so sweet, you should have realistic dreams. What are you saying? Like, I was like, what? Because back then, being an Asian basketball player was so foreign, and so every step I went, it was just like, people would make fun of me, or they would try to politely discourage me. Like, I remember my grandmother would always call me once a year and be like, hey, look, you should quit the basketball team and just be a doctor, because she's a doctor. And so there's a lot of these areas where it's like, and then every time things don't go well, you kind of doubt yourself. You're like, man, is this the path? Is this the path? Is this what I want to do? And the one thing that's always, stuck with me is, dude, just when I'm on the court, I feel like I'm like free. It's like, I feel like I'm in a different world. I don't feel like I'm on planet Earth. I feel like I'm just doing something else. Like, you're in the moment, you got the adrenaline, you're thinking about the game, and nothing else matters. Like I could have gotten an F yesterday, or my house could have burned down, and like, if I'm on the court playing, I literally won't be thinking about that stuff. Like, I feel like I'm on another reality or whatever. So for me, I just felt like the passion was too deep, and so I was always like, man, I gotta stick with it until I can't play anymore. And I never thought, like, actually they didn't even know if I was gonna make it to my high school team. I didn't know if I was gonna make it to my high school team. And now I'm, entering my 6th year in the pros, and that's why it kind of goes back to the community thing. Like, there are a lot of people who, actually wouldn't let me quit when I wanted to quit. And and there were times when it's not like I'm this like super strong person who like can always will myself to victory or success. There was a lot of areas where I was very weak and vulnerable. Times when I couldn't sleep before games, couldn't eat before games, losing 10, 15 pounds because just not able to eat, just of nervousness, and people were there for me. So there's always going to be trials and tribulations in life, but I honestly think that like whatever you're passionate about, that's what you should go for, unless it's like, unless it's like drug dealing or something like ridiculous. Like anything else that's like beneficial to you and you're passionate about, I think like you really should go for it and have no regrets.
Yeah.